What's going on then, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another video here on the channel. Today, we are going to be bringing you 7 reminder attacking tips to score more goals on FIFA 21, whether that's in Rivals, Foot Champs, anything like that. These are my reminder tips that we've discussed in plenty of videos here on the channel so far throughout FIFA 20 to just refresh your memory and hopefully help you find the back of the net more often. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a big thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel if you are new. We do stream over on Facebook Gaming. A link is in the description for that if you guys are interested. And remember, if you do want any of your sneak, to use code FIFA Analyst at checkout. So the first point that we're going to talk about is creating an imbalance in the opponent's team and using the whole width of the pitch and not sticking to one side. So the way I kind of explain this is where you want to zigzag up and down the pitch. You want to work from left into the middle into the right, and what you're trying to do is see if you can get down the left, if you can attack down the byline and beat that fullback, you can take that chance on. If you can't, you recycle back into the middle and you're trying to see if the middle of the pitch is open. Can you find your striker, your center attacking mid? If you can't, you work it out to the right and you rinse and repeat essentially until you either score, lose the ball, or so on. And why are we doing this? What we're trying to do is force the opponent to play a switch and create an imbalance in his team. If we can move the ball from one side of the pitch to the other, what's going to happen? So say if you have the ball down on this bottom side of the pitch, the right-hand side of the pitch, generally, most people kind of come over and they move their centre mids over slightly, even if they're not controlling them. You're trying to use the defensive AI to your advantage, really. You want your AI. So this is why I always talk about triggering runs with the LB, the L1 button. Obviously, that's down to you to create those attacks, which is a topic for another day. You have to get people moving. You doing this says to maybe his Kante, maybe his fullback, oh, let's track this run. And the more you move the ball and the more you go up and down, it creates that imbalance in the opponent's team, and you will then find an opening. Like here, for example, he has pulled his Van Dijk out. His team's got a little bit imbalanced. Kante's down here. Mendy's obviously in that appropriate role there. His right back's tucked in just below. You can just about see it underneath the screen. And they're in an imbalance, and that's then mean that we're going to get a gap somewhere else on the pitch. Well, if Van Dijk has come up, that's going to mean his centre defensive mid, who's hiding behind the webcam here, is going to have to try and fill in for Van Dijk, which isn't going to be as appropriate. So if we can find that gap, that space, you can see, look at his party. He's gone in to that right back position because Semedo has stepped in for Van Dijk, who is now out of position, which means we can get the ball out on the left-hand side. We get the ball into the box. We've got a little bit of time, a little bit of room, and then we can find it through. He dives in and gives away a penalty. When I have my coaching sessions, it's something that I talk about so much. So many people tend to stick to the one side of the pitch, normally to the side that's closer to the camera. So if you're running tele-broadcast, you'll normally stick to the bottom side of the pitch because it's closer and it's a little bit more natural. So just be mindful of that and make sure that you are moving the ball up and down. This will just create so many more opportunities for you. Make sure you're patient in the build-up, obviously. Don't just go and look and force opportunities. If you can attack the byline and get past the man to look for the swept back across, go for it. But if you can't, you recycle back into the middle. Can you find the pass into the centre backs on to your cam and your striker, and then you will take that chance. If not, you then go out to the right hand side. So many times people don't try and get past these two centre mids. The centre mids this year do not track back themselves. They're absolutely useless at doing it. So it's down to you to do this as a player. So that's why we use the width. Don't be afraid to run forward with a fullback and then take these two guys out the game, and then you're up against his defensive line. When you're up against the defensive line, that's where you can be aggressive, where you can look to run at the opponent, beat the opponent, get into some great positions, and in turn score some goals. Just a quick interruption to this video to say if you are interested in taking your game to the next level on FIFA, or whether you just want to go ahead and support me with a lot of perks, we have launched the Analyst Academy. You've got a lot of things ranging from the bronze all the way to the elite and the gold tier, where you can get weekly written guides, weekly videos, access to our monthly podcast, as well as taking part in our FIFA tournaments, along with giveaways, the chances to win FIFA points, free coaching sessions, and all of that that sort of stuff, along with any squad advice that you may want, and obviously the one-to-one coaching sessions. If that is something that you are interested in, please do click on the link below to come on over, have a look at the intro video and anything like that. Now back to the video. So the next point we're going to talk about is the bridge. Now the bridge did receive a nerf, but not necessarily the bridge that received the nerf. It was what it did to the opponent. It was what it did to the defender that got fixed, which in turn nerfed the bridge. The bridge is still very viable post-patch. It's still about timing. It's still about getting it right. It's a skill move that you can use really well going forward. I will be doing a video over the weekend talking to you about the directional nutmeg, which I've been using inside the box, which has been really lethal. So stay tuned for that if you're interested. This next one, with just the bridge by itself, I just want to show you how it can still be used post-patch and effective. If you didn't know, what did it used to do to a defender? It basically frees the defender even when they read what you were doing. Even though their analog stick may be pointing backwards, the defender would stop still for about half a second, which meant that you'd get through. So you can just see here with Dybala, we pick the ball up. Now, this is going to be useful when you've got room to run into, when you've got someone that's got pace, got strength, a Ronaldo, a Dybala, an Mbappe, or Rashford, whoever it may be, and you want to take on that centre-back. That's where it's going to be best, because the centre-back doesn't have a great acceleration, great sprint speed in most cases. That's how you're going to use it. Now, when you are inputting the bridge, you might say, how do you do it, Mr. Analyst? You double tap the R1, double tap the RB button on Xbox, PlayStation, and then Xbox. Just literally double tap it, and then point the left analog stick the direction that you want to go. What are you looking for? What's the key things here? You're waiting for the defender to basically be at a side angle, like a little bit off to the side. If they're directly in front of you, the bridge isn't going to work. They're just going to take it. So you can just see, I'll wait for the Boateng to commit slightly. If he stayed back here and he didn't commit, this wouldn't have worked. He would have defended it. But because he committed, you can just see he gets past him. He tries to get back sprinting. Dybala gets through, and then we go ahead and go for the finesse shot at the near post. Still very effective. Don't be afraid to use it. Just because something's been given a nerf doesn't mean that it's not usable at all, because it is still very viable. So next up, we're going to talk about skill moves inside the box and trying to use it to your advantage to take out an AI block to beat a defender and try and ensure that you're going to get a goal. So many people get into the 18-yard box, right? And they just take the shot because they see an opportunity and they think, yeah, I'm on. But there's always that chance that that AI is going to step in and get that block in. So you want to avoid that. How can you do this? You can use simple fake shots to do it, whether that's a first-time fake shot, whether you want to do a ball roll, whether you want to do a heel to heel on an angle, your choice. But you want to make sure that when you're taking a shot at goal, there's very little room for an AI to block as and when you can. So you just saw a few examples of us using the running fake shot there. We're going to show you the first-time fake shot here, which is where we play the ball into Jack Grealish. Now, let's have a look at this, right? You can see I've laid the ball off. So many people get the first-time fake shot wrong. How are you going to do the first-time fake shot? On Xbox, you can do X and A, or you can do B and A. I prefer X and A. On PlayStation, you can do square and X, or you can do circle and X. Again, I do square and X on PlayStation. And you need to input that command before you receive the ball. Otherwise, he'll take a touch and then do a fake shot, or he'll boot the ball into row Z. So make sure you time this right. You need to push the left analog stick the way you want to go before you receive the ball. So you can just see you've laid the ball into Jack Grealish. Now look at this. I've talked about this in plenty of videos in the past. You can just see we've laid that ball across. I tell you, you need to input the first part of the animation no later than the halfway mark. You can just see we're about halfway there. Look in the bottom left. You can see I've now got the power bar. That is me inputting on Xbox X. And then I'm going to follow it up immediately with A and push the left analog stick into that direction. This is going to be most effective when the defender is in the middle of a transition. So like when he's going to player switch to the next person. So as you can see, he player switches to Vidic. We just use that fake shot and then Grealish finds the back of the net. Very effective, very easy to do. Make sure you add some of these things into your game. You can see inside the box, using the ball roll to take the defender away. Trying to avoid the AI blocks, which are the dreaded thing on FIFA 21 as much as you possibly can. It wouldn't be a FIFA 21 attacking video if I didn't speak to you about through balls. Through balls are very effective this year. Even when the defender's covering it and switch to it, they can still work. If you get an opportunity for a through ball to be played into plenty of space where the goalkeeper can't come and claim it, go for it. You can see there Ronaldo sending that through ball into João Felix, getting in and then going for that near post shot. And we'll look back on that in our next tip with regards to goalkeeper movement. But you can just see how many examples have we got here. The through ball is in behind. We know we've got the room to get in, and that's exactly what we're going to look for. So just take a look at this one here. Again, down on the bottom side, Grealish. That to me is an absolute worldie of a through ball. Even though the defender is covering there with Gomez, we still find the Dybala. We get in on goal, take the touch with sprint, and then just lay that pass off across. So if you see a through ball, if you see the opportunity, don't be afraid to try it. It is game management though. If you're winning 3-1 in the 80th minute, you may not need to risk trying some of these through balls. But on, you know, if it's obviously 2-2 or something, then go for it. What I say with through balls is expect the unexpected. So if you think, oh no, that wouldn't work, that wouldn't go in, then just go for it. You know, don't be afraid. Sorry, as my phone rings, we're gonna mute that. Don't be afraid to go for it. Expect the unexpected. If you see a through ball and you think, oh nah, football, that would never work, try it. You'll be surprised. It works absolutely incredibly. So goalkeeper movement, something that people use a lot on FIFA 21. Goalkeeper movement, the way I gauge this when I'm defending myself, if opponent gets in on goal, if I know they're a very good player, I won't move my goalkeeper across the face of goal because so many people expect you to do it. They then go near post. If you get into a game and the opponent moves his goalkeeper in your first one-on-one or first shot and you shoot it across the face of goal, because that's obviously one of the most strongest methods of scoring this year, next time you get in on goal, don't shoot across goal, shoot at the near post. So you can just see here, we get through, we line it up. We're kind of expecting that we know, obviously excuse the webcam, that the shot across the face of goal is the better shot. That's what people would go for. Last year, you might look for a near post here. But so many people then move their goalkeeper slightly up. So then all you need to do is go and slot that at the near post. You can gauge your opponent quite quickly on this, and it will get you so many more goals. Don't just repeatedly keep hitting that ball across the face of goal, because the opponent will just keep moving it. You know, if they know that's what you're going to look for. We get through here. Obviously, we've got the shot. I don't know why he moves the goalkeeper as he did. That was a little bit of an odd one. That one there could have been the last few times I've shot across goal. He's moved the goalkeeper, you know, across the goal. So he's moved it near post, thinking that I'd then change and go for that near post. But yeah, it's obviously your mind games. It's something that you guys need to make sure that you are paying attention to when you are getting in one-on-one for sure. And it will help very much so. So moving on to our next point. This is obviously something that I've spoken about briefly. I've talked about it in a lot of videos. It's using runners, right? It's sending people on a run with the L1, with the LB button, and using them as the overload kind of in there. You have to send people on a run this year. Someone commented on one of the attacking tips saying, oh, look, here he is telling us to use the L1, the LB button when you lay off a pass to send someone on a run. Now, I wish I could give you other tools. The creative runs this year really isn't that effective. You have to initiate the runs yourself because the attacking AI, excuse me, the attacking AI is useless. They don't make the runs themselves, so it's down to you. I wish I could give you more tools, but unfortunately this year we can't. So I'm still telling you, make sure you lay these balls off, you beat the centre mids. Make sure you go for those L1 passes. You know, you can see Ronaldo sticks his arm out. You know when you've gone for a 1-2 pass, when they stick their arm out, because that means they're going to run directly in towards a goal. So we use this here, and then obviously as we get in, with the Mane, we take the shot and we get that one smashed into the back of the net. Moving on to our next tip, obviously taking into account goalkeeper movement, it is shooting across the face of goal. If the goalkeeper doesn't move, it is still your #1 go-to shot. Last year it was near post. This year it is definitely that shot across goal. So if you ever get in this sort of scenario, just make sure you are hitting it across the goal as long as the goalkeeper isn't moved. That's obviously where you need to make sure you use that to your advantage, and you will score plenty of goals when you get in on that scenario. I see so many people trying to finesse it, trying to go for the near post. Just be sure that you go for that shot across the face of goal, across your body. If you're going to bend it like Beckham, let's say, where you're hitting it, you know, opening up your body, that's where you're then going to go for the finesse shot. But as a whole, if you're running onto the ball and you're going to strike it, that's where you want to hit that across the face of goal. So hopefully that makes it quite nice and easy for you guys. So then, guys, there you have it. There are our 7 attacking reminding tips to hopefully get you some more goals on FIFA 21 and help you guys out. If you did enjoy this video, though, I do need you to hit the like button. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let me know any other videos that you want to see down in the comment section below. Thank you all very much for watching. Thank you to our Patreons that do support us and allow us to create these videos for you guys. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.